Okay, in this video, we're gonna look at Prelude, or I think they're called Saint Satine. Is that what it is? I'm so sorry. I might jump between calling them Prelude, or also I keep accidentally saying Saint Saltine. That's my bad. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. Anyway, we're gonna look at how the girly bops are doing, their future, and what comes up, you know what I mean? I don't really have a strong stake in it. I didn't watch the show, that's my bad. I know very little except what they showed in Dream Academy. We'll see. With that being said, everything I say is all alleged and for entertainment purposes only. And peace and love. And let's go. Okay, this is gonna be Lexie. This is gonna be Emily. This is gonna be Samara. And this is gonna be Sakura. I said this was Lexie, right? 10 of swords in the reverse position. You hanging on to something that you need to let go of? I'm not sure. The 10 of it's like, that's a weird card to get as like your first pull, because like it can sometimes be read as like you need to let go of something and you're hanging on to it, essentially. Or it's like something needs to end and you're not letting it end, but it'd be in your best interest. Loss of control. That's interesting. Oh, it can also be like feeling like unstable. I don't know. Queen of Swords. Oh, out of control. She feels out of control. She feels this is kind of sad too, because I think it was meant to be kind of a big thing that they're finally for and they can finally get on with their like music career. But having the Queen, none of these cards feel particularly positive, and to be honest, I feel like suddenly kind of dissociated a little bit. But the Queen of Swords in the reverse is like, I can't speak honestly or my truth. It doesn't really indicate like dishonesty, because sometimes the Queen of Swords can, but this is more just like I can't speak directly. It might be, I don't know if it's behind the scenes or if it's like just her mind, like maybe in interviews about this or like what she actually thinks. But she doesn't feel as, well, I don't know how you would maybe expect her to be, but she doesn't feel as positive as you would maybe think. A lot of swords too. Swords is like communication. Maybe something wasn't communicated to her clearly. Having the 5 of Swords there is like a fight. Communication as well. Oh, but it feels almost like resignation. So she's more one of these people than that guy. Or just sort of like, I'm putting my this isn't something worth fighting about. Or arguing about, but it doesn't really feel aggressive like that. It feels almost like, you know, sometimes when you're kind of dejected, so you just like, you're almost like, I don't want to bring it up because I'm too tired, even though it's like a problem or something like that. But there's something she's like keeping to herself. I don't think she's telling anyone, actually. I mean, maybe, but I don't know. She might, but it also feels a sense of like silencing. Ace of Wands, starting something new. The Hierophant. Lexie, for some reason, just feels... Oh, I just got it. Like, Lexie was the one that left in the middle of Dream Academy, right? Like, she did that like whole G thing. She's like, I don't want to be a part of this. And now we see her in this. That makes sense, because I was like, what's going on here? Because if we go back to the very beginning, this is like, I need to let go of something and I'm holding on to it. Which feels... not 100% she's conscious of this. Like, I think she made the correct, this is gonna sound crazy, we're already starting off. I think she made the correct decision in leaving Dream Academy and not like, you know, potentially debuting in like Cat's Eye or whatever the plan was. This seems kind of like a mistake, but in Lexie's case, this is sort of like, this was a bad, I mean, you can't get out of it. I mean, she's in this now, but it's sort of like, you should have committed to like not being a part of Hybe and Geffen. It's under Hybex Geffen, right? There's something about that. This is a loss of control as well. She feels, I think she either has been feeling or starting to feel how she felt during Dream Academy, where it was sort of like, wait a minute, like this disillusion, that's what it's giving. It's like disillusionment. I feel like Lexie actually, I think she's not necessarily wrong for being an artist or being in the spotlight, but Hybex Geffen or the K-pop idol type industry thing is not for her. It won't be. I'm sorry. Like, this is not gonna be I don't want to be negative. It doesn't seem like she has like the best temperament for the type of lifestyle she has suddenly signed up for. And I think maybe there was something about seeing how much the behind the scenes actually really wanted her to be in Cat's Eye or something like that. I'm not sure. It kind of pushed her to be like, maybe I should do this. But the thing is, it's like, she does have star power. I sense that about her. So it's like she could be more indie, maybe, or do something kind of more independent, or do kind of what Adele is doing, or like even like Carly. But this isn't good. I mean, I root for her. But energetically, it's like she feels silenced. Lexie, I don't think, has a very good time when her language is policed. And that's like basically what being like a pop star is, and like kind of a manufactured machine, because the Hierophant is like, we're telling you what to do, but there's so many like communication cards, and it's like, it's sort of like she's really not gonna, and this is like feeling under control but out of control, almost like I don't have control of myself, I'm being controlled. I sense this isn't gonna, I mean, she might perform quite well, but I really feel like she's going to start feel so restricted, especially the more they're out in the public, especially the more they get like, you know, ridiculed, and like their schedules get like even crazier, and there's so many eyes on them. Lexie, I just don't know if she's going to be able to like feel good in this type of career. Oh my God. I don't want to be negative. I also feel like Lexie might say something that's going to make people mad at her or upset, or something might be brought back up, because this is almost like your rank going down. Don't look at my nails. I've been gardening. I'm like hiding them. Your rank going down in some way. Like, I don't know, like almost like, you know how like sometimes people rank members of like how much we like them versus how much we don't like them? It's almost like Lexie's near the top and she's gonna rank lower. Almost like you said something that was offensive, or you did something that people interpreted as being like shady or something. I feel like something's coming for her about that. It also might be something from the past. Queen of Cups, emotion. Lexie's very emotional. As like a baseline, I feel like in this type of job, because being an artist, being like emotional is very good. However, this type of artistry also takes like a lot of like mental toughness. I wouldn't necessarily say she's weak mentally, but it's more like she's emotional. And I think people are going to start to like say things and just poke and prod at her, like we're kind of seeing with like Cat's Eye. That's 100% going to happen to Saint Satine. Saltine. Anyway, she I don't know, I really don't feel like this is a good fit for her. I'm sad. I don't know, Lexie, girly Bob, I hope things work out for you. I hope I'm wrong. But this seems like I feel like this is a train wreck for her type of personality and temperament. But I think it just was too tempting. It was sort of like, they're gonna debut me. Because like that's what it seemed like in Dream Academy, right? Like people really wanted Lexie. That's what it seemed like. Anyway, sorry. I'm just going on. Sorry, girl. I hope things work out. Anyway, this is Emily. Our girl Emily. I like Emily. I think she's sweet. She got the 5, 6, 7 of swords in the reverse position, which is coming clean about something, but it's also sometimes a bit suspiciousness. I'm not sure. It's interesting because this card is looking at Lexie. It's also communication. Temperance in the reverse position, a lack of emotional balance. Oh, there's something weird about the group. Not to be negative again, but there's sort of like people experience emotions differently, or like process emotions differently, or there's something about emotions in the group, and it feels like the group is split into two, or it'd be like maybe the emotional ones versus the ones who are more like blunt, something like that. Like I sense that about the group, like there's a split, and these, for whatever reason, I don't know why, but Lexie and Emily seem like there's tension, I guess. I don't know if that's the right word. It could just be like connection. I don't know. But like, it literally is like there's a line between these two, and it's kind of like sparky but red. It's strange. Anyway, temperance can also just be like a lack of emotional balance in general. But Lexie, for some reason, feels external. Giving and taking. Again, this is like giving to one thing more than another. Oh, a split. Oh, I hope not. I don't know if, I'm going to look up, actually, Saint Satine under Hivex Geffen, or a different thing. Dang, okay. Saint Satine is under Hivex Geffen. I'm getting somewhat of the impression that you're going to see similarities in some ways about, if you're someone who kind of picks up on the undertones of like groups, there's something about like one member is going to get special treatment, or you see like them getting more opportunities or pushed more or better outfits. There's something about that, and it's sort of like, I'm getting more than you are. You're getting more time, or you're getting more attention, or things. It also doesn't have to be 100% that. It could just be the perception Emily has. in one way or another, or it's sort of like you work less than I do, but you get more. Something about that. She is like a parent of that. She feels like she's on the lesser end. I wouldn't say she's alone in that. So she's isolated and everyone else is being treated well. It seems split. It seems like 2 people are getting more and 2 people are not. But it also feels like an emotional sense as well. It's strange. But things are already being split. I don't know if that's like Hybex Geffen's thing. I really have no idea. Or they're just like not the best at like managing fundamentally. I'm not sure why that's happening, but I see that coming up again for them. It also could be, I don't know, never mind. Anyway, 2 things. Not having the world. Lexie feels surprisingly, Lexie also I feel like feels a little mixed on I don't know if they knew the name before it was announced or if they found out like everyone else. Part of me believes that they didn't know. Just like how they didn't know who was going to be in the group, but there's something about, it also might be like the discourse around Saint Satine, but there's something about her feeling disappointed maybe, or not disillusioned, but this is literally like, in the upright, this is like, I have the whole world in my hands, like I'm so excited, I'm so happy. In the reverse, it's sort of like, not necessarily like bad, but more like, oh, I don't know now, I'm uncertain, I'm unsure. And again, it's like 2, which is like being split, and it's sort of like, in the same way, it's like more on this side versus this side. It's like this one is higher than that one. There's something about little Emily feels like she's not getting as much or as like almost like someone is getting preferential treatment and it's not her, and she's upset about that. I think Emily, as a personality, has a strong sense of fairness to her. So like that's a core value she has, is fairness. So I think she notices this more than other people do, and it bothers her. I think this will get, well, I don't want to be negative, but it seems like this won't resolve. I don't know if it'll get worse, but it won't resolve whatever is going on, right? I think it's been going on. I don't think this is new since 4 of them come together. I think this has been happening for one reason or another. I don't know if it's like, because Emily is like technically the best dancer. If it's sort of like, I'm technically the best dancer, so why is like this other person getting more parts? I really don't know if we'll see that or not. Oh, wait, no, I want more on Emily. I'm sorry. I'm all over the place. Transition, moving away. Ooh. I don't know why I feel a riff coming in the group, or a tear. I don't know if it's 100% someone's leaving. That would be crazy all of a sudden. This card sometimes can indicate like moving away, sometimes leaving the group, but it seems more just like a tear, an emotional riff of some sort. And again, for some reason, it feels like Lexie. I don't know. It could be more than just Lexie, but it's sort of like, for some reason, it's too long that wow. Not even like they're being mean, but like just fundamentally different. Like Lexie and Emily are just, they have different personalities. I don't know why, but it feels like those 2 are, well, I mean, it might be the others as well, but there's a riff in the group. It's either coming or it's happening now. I would say that the group's vibe, if you were a fly on the wall, it would be kind of like tense. I don't know if it's genuinely a personality thing or the environment is fostering it, but honestly, in this case, I think it's kind of like they're just all kind of different. They have different values, they come from different cultures, and like they're just not like, they're just like, well, we're put together, like sure. You know what I mean? Anyway, this is Samara. Samara is the 9 of Wands reversed, which is, there's a sense of distrust for some reason. Or you know, sometimes when you feel kind of emotionally guarded, that's what it's giving. It's emotionally guarded and like impermeable. Almost like she, you know, sometimes when you're around people and it's like they're not bad, because that's not the vibe it's giving. It's almost like I'm not comfortable around you, so you feel almost like a little awkward or stiff. That's how Samara is, but it's like emotionally. It's like guarded. And that's how she feels. I don't know. The Emperor in the reverse, it's a lack of power. I don't know if that's her or someone looking at her. It feels kind of like her, but it's like disempowerment or not being able to fully show your force. That could be connection or a contract. I don't like this energy, actually. It feels like kind of like someone's around her. Oh, I hate that. That's sad. Okay. So this feels like someone around. Number 1, it does feel like it's Samara's energy, but it also feels like somebody around her. Powerful energy. It can be masculine energy. So this to me feels like somebody who is in charge of Saint Satine, or somebody that's a higher up in like Hybex Geffen in some way, and it's sort of like we had high hopes for you, or like I invested in you or I trusted in you, and now I've lost confidence or faith. That's what it's giving. And almost like Samara's aware of it to a degree. I don't know if it's like a direct conversation, but almost like you can catch the vibe. Because it's just sort of like, I like had faith in you. We had like a connection or a bond. Because it's sort of like Samara was plucked specifically for this group. Out of, I think, other Dream Academy members, like someone really was like gunning or rooting for Samara to be in this group or to be in something having to do with Hybex Geffen. It's sort of like someone who had a lot of power in that, like, that company. Someone who had a lot of power in that company was sort of like, we want Samara, and then Samara in some way or another has let them down. And this is like Queen Wands, which again is like Samara feels like she's lost her spark, and whoever this is also agrees. Or I don't know if that's true, or it's sort of like they no longer have confidence in Samara, and that's shaking her confidence. I can't tell if the chicken or the egg came first. But for one reason or another, she doesn't feel confident. I don't know if it's like online comments are getting to her or if someone has said something that's really like shaken her confidence. I don't know. But again, she feels like super emotionally guarded. I don't really like, this is sad given how, I think, exciting this moment should be. None of them so far feel particularly happy or excited or comfortable. Although they've been working on this for a while, you know what I mean? The show and whatever. Anyway. She feels a little insecure or shaky. 10 of Pentacles in a reverse position, a lack of legacy. This is like such like a crazy thing to say right now, but I don't 100% know if she'll make it to the finish line of their contract. I don't know why, but if there's something about Samara leaving or something happening, or she is removed for a second, or she takes a hiatus for a second, I'm not sure. Because this is sort of like lack of like fulfillment or promise. The Magician's good because that's like manifestation, fulfillment, being able to like create something. I think something's going to be brought up about Samara, or but this doesn't feel like she might do something or say something that makes people upset. I can't quite tell what this is though. The Magician. Lexie. Oh, from the past. Yeah, people are gonna, because wasn't there something Samara said or did or like tweeted? Does anyone know what I'm talking about? Where it's like people were like mad at her for something she said or did. Anyway, it's gonna be brought up continuous. It's like people who like tweeted like racist things in 2010 and people keep bringing it up. That's gonna be Samara, like, period. They also might find other things that she's said or done and people are kind of gonna like go after her for that. I don't know if she has the cleanest past. I'm really not sure. She also might make known more of her like opinions and beliefs. And because I feel like Saint Satine is being marketed as more of like an American thing, there's something about the American public is going to be mad at Samara. Samara's not American, right? I don't know where she's from. I'm sorry. No, Brazil. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm ignorant. Anyway, there's like a mismatch. People are going to get mad at her. It's like poking sticks at her. She's going to be a target for something. I don't like this. Yeah, this is the revealing of a secret. Samara might have something in her past that people don't like and will go hunting for, or like someone will come out of the woodworks. I don't know, someone's really trying to like knock her confidence. And also, I will say she's not strongly present in this reading. It's like it's just information around her. It's not really from her. It's interesting. I would not say Samara is necessarily the happiest currently, which is also such a shame given it just seems like this is I thought they would have been happier. Anyway, Sakura, the 4 of Cups in the reverse position, which is contemplation. Oh, it's 4 of them. Confusion almost. No. That's how it feels. It feels like she's confused. Page of Swords in the reverse position. Oh, immature faux pas. I don't know if there's some. I want to pull more cards, but off the bat, it feels like there's something like. She's young, right? She's 16. There's something like there's something naive, immature, or like youthful about how she speaks, but it doesn't land well, and I can't tell if that's in the group or in like business. I can't tell yet. But also, she's 16, like she's a baby. The Empress. She's favored. She's highly favored by the company or somebody. Because the Empress, this is like pampered. I will say, I didn't watch the show, so I know nothing about Sakura at all. I have like a spark or a specialness. I'm not sure if that was evident in the series or not. I really don't know. But there's something, it's not really a skill-based thing. It's like just kind of I wouldn't even say it's like an it girl thing. It's just sort of like she has like a je ne sais quoi to her, or like a spark or an energy. I'm not sure. Anyway, it's sort of like, I would are you? This type of thing kind of happens to her, where it's like she just is special for some reason. I don't know how to really convey this. 3. Oh. I don't know about that. It is, I don't know how, I think the other members, I will say, like Sakura. I think they like Sakura. I was unsure if they did or not. Yes, I think they really are trying to make her feel welcomed and safe. I think that the other members are kind of also, I think with a lot of other people who are like, whoa, she's kind of young. They agree. They're like, her? Like, they definitely agree. Because they're all like, what, like in their 20s? And Sakura's a baby. So I think they're really trying to like integrate her. I will say that number one, I believe she doesn't speak English. I don't know if she does or not, I'm sorry. But there's something about her communication. There's something that is young about it and youthful. That's kind of a mismatch for the rest of them. They do feel a sense of responsibility, which I quite like. I mean, that's unfortunate that you feel that way, but like also it's like they really care about her. This is like unity and camaraderie. I was kind of perplexed when like 3, which is still, that's a bit weird. Although, I mean, like tarot has limitations, but it's like, I don't know. I strongly feel like someone's like the odd one out in this group. Anyway. This is like anxiety and anguish, and it feels like the role of it. So Sakura, she feels the best out of all of them, I'll say. She feels kind of young and just like, yeah, I'm living my dream. Like, she doesn't feel as like whatever about it. You know what I mean? Hard work. She works very hard. She's very dedicated to this. I think you'll kind of be surprised by Sakura. I'm going to be really honest. I'm excited to watch her. Her energy is sweet. It's sweet and it's like unconventional and like special. There's something nice about it, I'll say. I kind of understand why they would have chosen her, although I have no idea who the other contestant was, I'm gonna be honest. So I get if like externally you're like her, but like internally she kind of is like, she's like funny. She has like this like pleasant like quirk to her. I don't know, I really like her energy. Knight of Cups in the reverse position. I think she might hit an emotional wall soon, especially as they start to do more. I don't know. I'm certain that they have a comeback ready and planned, and like she's locking in on that. But she's gonna hit an emotional wall. It seems like she happily. Oh, the problems are gonna start right now. I'll say she feels good. This is future oriented, so it seems like the problems are gonna start to emerge. Almost like these people, I really hope they have someone that's like watching over Sakura that's not just one of the members, so she has like a dedicated helper or nanny. I'm not sure. Not nanny, but you know what I mean. Like she has like someone who's like an assistant. I don't know. Because this is sort of like she's gonna hit an emotional wall, but all of these other people seem like they're like there's a lot going on with them. So it's like, I don't know, they probably are gonna move to America, right? And like do what Cat's Eye is doing. I'm really not sure what the game plan is there. Sakura's gonna hit an emotional wall. She's young, of course. This is a very stressful and demanding career. And the 10 of Cups in the reverse position is sort of like homesickness can be a lack of happily ever after, or not really feeling super integrated. I will say the other members, they like her. They think she's sweet. They think she's young. There's definitely gonna be a separation of like the 3 of us and then Sakura, just because of her age. And also I think she doesn't speak English, right? I don't know. I don't say that to be disrespectful, but that's gonna be like there's another gap that it might be a language thing or a culture thing. I'm really not sure. Anyway, that she's gonna feel kind of isolated. But I wouldn't reiterate it's them. They just seem like they have a lot going on too, and it's like this just like a lot to kind of have to be the big sister of somebody if you don't really sign up for that. Ace of Cups, again, that's like emotionally sad. I feel so sad. She seems genuinely very sweet, and like she got thrown to the wolves. I don't think she's 100% prepared for what's gonna come, because it just seems like she's gonna not have enough support in such a draining and kind of high demanding field. Like, I see her being emotionally sad. And like I wasn't prepared. They're not preparing me. That's genuinely how I feel. It's almost like they haven't truly like tapped her into like how extreme maybe this is gonna be, or intense, or I don't know. I really don't know. Are they going to America? Because there's something about this is just like not having enough information. Like I feel a little fooled and deceived, and then like slowly like a realization of things. Again, I just feel like the company, Hybex Geffen, seems like they don't really have a lot of artist support. It's like they don't really support their artists enough or prepare them enough for like really how kind of emotionally, I'm going to say it, kind of traumatizing being in the spotlight like this is. And I think Sakura is going to have kind of a shock. But she seems sweet. I don't know anything about Miss Girl, but she seems very sweet. I like her energy, and I hope her light doesn't die. Let's ask about their future and how that's gonna go as a foursome. Okay, I'm gonna look at the future of Saint Satine for the four of them. And also what Hive X Geffen perhaps have in store. Strength in the reverse can be disempowerment. Page of Swords, communication, that's good. It's like youthful, it's vibrant. I think people might like their sound. At least at the beginning, people might like the kind of music they release. Death, that's a rebirth or transformation. That can be a good thing. The Emperor, though, that's coming after death is sort of, this is a lot of major arcana. The Emperor after is sort of like disempowerment again. Like strength and the Emperor can kind of say the same thing about like losing power. Although one is more like internal and this can be like an external thing. Almost again kind of like a CEO or a powerful person that is like changing their direction or doing something to them that's like unfavorable in some way. Hanging on to something that you shouldn't. That's strange, because that's a lot of cards we got with the other girl. Whatever. 5, 6, 7 of Swords. Shadiness. Sneakiness. I feel like a controversy is going to come for them for some reason. It seems like it's going to come kind of early. It might be their first comeback or maybe their second release. Something like that. But it'll be earlier in their career. It seems like it has to do with a member. Something a member does or says. I don't know 100% know if it's going to be their fault or not. It might be. It might be something they did in their past. But it also might be more... Whatever this is, though, it's like... or I interrupted myself. It also might be something that like the company told them to do. So it's like it's a misunderstanding and people are blaming the wrong person. It might also be a case of that. But this is like shadiness and like this deceit almost, or like deception. And it has to do with communication. So it might be something written or something you said in writing, like text messages releasing. Oh God, I hope not. Foundation, stability. Why do I hope this isn't true, and this is like such a crazy thing to say, but like partly I feel like someone's gonna leave and be like swapped with somebody else. Like I don't know why I think that. That's like, I mean, crazier things have happened certainly, but that's just such a strange thing. I just feel like someone's gonna be swapped. That's strange. Anyway, I don't know. 4 of Wands, that's like good. That's like stability, foundation, and it's like the 4 of them uniting. The legacy. People might like their music, honestly. I mean, they might. I just mean like people I think will like, especially their early stuff, they're gonna like their sound or their vibe or like an album or an era or the styling. There's something about they're gonna leave an imprint. They might like start a trend of some sort. I'm not sure. People are gonna be like really into them. I think they might span various ages too. So like it's gonna be like people of various ages. Even like people who are maybe older might like their stuff. Page of Wands in the reverse position. But look, that's weird because then it's like things are going well and like your spark kind of gets taken away from you. The fruit of my labor, is it paying off? And that's a no. The members might feel disillusioned or disenfranchised after a while. Almost sort of like it's not worth the amount of effort we're putting into this. But it also feels like there's going to be a weird pivot. Almost like the first 2 releases are great and then like something's going to happen. Almost like a reinvention that's like they shouldn't have done that or they didn't need to do that and people are not going to like it or it's going to be controversial. It might happen like now, I don't know, like almost like people expected them to be one thing and they become another. I'm not sure, but it'll happen earlier in their career. Wheel of Fortune, luck turning in your favor. This can also talk about time and transition. And then anxiety, sorrow, depression, sadness. I don't know if this is about Hive X Geffen at large and something happening with the company that trickles down to Saint Satine. I'm really not sure. But there's something about like this sounds goofy, but like a darkness coming over the group. But it almost seems like somebody turned out the lights rather than like, and so it like made it harder for them to function more than anything. And I can't really tell. It might be like more of like a massive like geopolitical thing. I don't know. But it's like, I just feel like a lot of like roadblocks for them for one reason or another that are like, it's like you wouldn't see that coming if you were in the group. You're like, why does this keep happening? The Empress, there's going to be one girl. I don't know if she'll be an it girl, but she'll be somebody people like more than the others. I'm not sure. Either this person is very consistent on stage or they're kind of an all-arounder or everyone kind of suddenly isn't as good as this person is. So they seem good in comparison. I'm not sure. It also could be a personality. Like this is the only member that has like a personality people really connect to. I'm not sure. But there will be someone who's a standout. It seems kind of significant. At least for a while, it might be an era or just a period of time, but someone's going to stand out and people are going to really like them. Knight of Wands, they have backing. I think Saint Satine is going to have an issue with somebody being elevated. In the same way you kind of saw with like Cat's Eye, and like you could tell Mana definitely is like the one that's pushed. She's always center. There's going to be a member that's that. Where they're always the center, they have good outfits. Like you can tell there's kind of like this like fuel or this fire behind them that the other members aren't necessarily getting. Not me through. I bring Mana up a lot. I just find her interesting. Anyway, Four of Cups. That's a lack of satisfaction. The members just feel kind of like iced out a little. Like, just, I think what they thought this would be and what it will turn out to be aren't the same thing. And I see that with a lot of K-pop idols in general, where it's sort of like what you expect and what you got are just different. I think in part because of just like audiences in and of itself and like how different that is. And like you don't really realize maybe how vicious the comments can be or how like much like people can like get under your skin. I'm not sure. Or maybe the schedule and the demand of it. The Magician, the reverse, is a lack of manifestation, being able to create something. The Ace of Pentacles, that's reward. They might get paid. They might get brand deals too. They definitely will make money with this, which is nice. That's nice to see. 5, 6, 7. That's being backed into a corner. People are going to turn on them. I wouldn't say everyone, but definitely they'll have a lot of antis. They'll have people who don't like them. I can't tell you why it doesn't hunt. I think to a degree people are going to like in their minds make it seem like, what's the word? Almost like you said that like a fucked up thing one time, so now it's like I am fully in my right to like create like a dedicated hate page. They'll have something like that. There's going to be a lot of people who are kind of rooting for their downfall. I'm really not sure. I don't know if I just think we're kind of in an era where people are very angry, but they're definitely going to take the brunt of that. I will say they're going to make money. I will also say, though, I think they might like their music, and then something's going to happen, or their styling, I'm not sure, where it's like things are going to go crazy or south in some way. Ace of Cups in the reverse. Lack of luck, lack of creativity, and Hanged Man, a need for new perspective. Or new perspectives. And what does that mean? Ace of illusion, disillusion, wands. Did we get wands just now? In terms of success, I feel like they will have a good amount. I feel like it's just like a kind of a typical K-pop trajectory where it's like, especially new groups tend to get a lot of hate and then they find their core fan base and then they're kind of stable. I will say I don't think Hybex Geffen is particularly good at managing groups. It seems like there's going to be issues behind the scenes in terms of maybe favoritism. I think that this group is going to have a unique kind of hate to them. Similar kind of to like with Seraphim and Cat's Eye, where it's just like it's just like a lot. Suddenly you're like, wow, like this seems a little disproportionate. There's gonna be something that happens. I don't know. It seems like they're gonna have like a bumpy ride, like just unexpected things or unfortunate things, or you can kind of tell something's wrong and you're not really sure why. But I will say, like, I do think some of their music is gonna be great. Like it's gonna be like refreshing maybe, or like a new sound, or like something like familiar but new. I don't know. But then I think something's gonna happen. Like something's gonna happen in their music and it's gonna be like, oh, I didn't like this rebrand, but sure. Should we, since we're here, let's quickly put on, is her name Amaya or Amaya? I'm not sure. I want to know what she feels. I again didn't watch the show, but I believe she was the other contender that people wanted, question mark. I want to know how she feels. Judgment, awakening and awareness, contemplation, rest, what could have been? Lovers, kind of like relief almost. She might be put in something else. 2 of Pentacles in the reverse. Again, that's similar to this, like the 2, which is like juggling things, what could have been. And, ooh. King of Wands. I will say, I don't think this is the end for her. If you really liked her, I feel like she might be put in something else. Somebody, I don't know if it'll be with Hybex Geffen, but like someone saw her and was like, and I feel like she might have garnered like a sense, like a little bit of a fandom. She'll be in something else. I don't know if it'll be in America. It'd be cool if it was, but she'll be in something else. I will say, this is like awakening, almost sort of like now that the dust is cleared, there's almost like a strange sense of relief. It's strange. But I will say she's resting right now. She's staying low. I'm sure she's recognizable maybe in Japan or wherever she is, or whoever was watching. This is like realizing things, and also kind of the sense of like what could have been. But I will say she doesn't feel that emotional, surprisingly. It's more just like, oh, that happened. I will say, I feel like, I don't know if she already has like people like offering her opportunities, so it doesn't feel like the biggest loss ever, but she doesn't feel emotional. It's just, I don't, if anything, it's kind of like, given I think kind of how unfortunate it probably was to not get in the group, she's taking it well. It's sort of like, well, that happened now, especially with the lovers, but this is like unifying with something else. I really believe she's either, I don't know if she'll take it, but there's an opportunity for her to be in the spotlight again. I can't tell you where or who, but I think she has a couple of people who are eyeing her for something. And King of Wands. This is an interesting card to get, because sometimes it can talk about like freedom from something that would have trapped you. I think in one regard, I don't know if she was like someone who came from like money or not, I really don't know, but this would have given her like a step up economically if she'd gotten in the group. But there's something about like almost like an emotional relief that she didn't, because she's thinking about like, man, I would have had to like do all of that, you know what I mean? There's something about that. And the King of Wands is interesting because that's like creative. Queen of Wands, Queen of Swords. We'll see her again, absolutely. I really believe that, because the Queen of Swords and the King, I don't know how old she is. She's like 20, right? I think she might become like an Adela. Like she'll, well, okay, that's crazy. But like, I mean, she'll be like prominent through this show. Like, but I don't know if she'll 100% be independent. It seems like she's gonna get signed to somebody else. I don't know. People like her. They want to see her succeed. I think it might take time as well. And also, I don't know 100% if she wants it or not. I can't tell. But she has offers, certainly. And she strangely doesn't seem that emotional. I don't know if she's like well adjusted. I don't know how she came across in the show or not, if she's chill. But like, I don't know. I like her. Honestly, I like her energy. It's very diplomatic. It's very like straight to the point. I'm happy she's not heartbroken, because that would have made me sad. Well, good luck to Saint Satine. I'm excited to see what happens. I hope things go well for them. And I'm sorry that this reading was low-key kind of negative. With peace and love.